There were significantly more sales in February of 2024 than there were in February of 2023. Hello, everybody. It's Alex Drobin with Remax. I help people just like you buy and sell real estate in Toronto. If you get any value from any of these videos, please hit the subscribe button. And also, if you're thinking about buying or selling a property, click the link at the bottom of this video and you can set up an appointment with me today. I've done a lot of listing appointments over the last couple of months, and everybody's always asking what's going on with the market. I figured I'd get right back into these videos and do a Toronto real estate market update just for you. So here we go. So just like I mentioned off the top, there were 17.9% more residential transactions in February of 2024 than there were in February of 2023. For reference, last year there were 4,754 sales in February. This year, 5,607 sales in February. That's a pretty significant difference. From my experience and my opinion, being on the ground level, what I saw was that a lot of people who didn't buy stuff in, October, November, December, and were waiting to see what was happening with, the interest rate situation and waiting for more inventory, kind of held off until the new year. And now we're starting to see those buyers come into this new year purchasing properties. That's a lot more transactions, almost 18% more. I'm seeing a lot of people just be out and about looking at properties. I've had a lot of buyers contact me, wanting to see a lot of places. I've done a handful of transactions myself already within these first couple of months, and it's been really busy. So I feel like people are looking at more places, and the market's significantly more active right now than it was a year ago. Let's move on to the average selling price, because the average selling price hasn't changed much. 17.9% more transactions, but the average selling price only went up 1.1%. So February of 2023, the average sale price of a Toronto home was $1,096,000. February of 2024, average selling price of a Toronto home is $1,108,000. So still a 1.1% increase in average selling price, but it's not that much. In my opinion, I think a lot of people will flood back into the market and the prices will go up once these interest rates start dropping a little bit. They're not going to go down drastically by all accounts. And who knows, maybe they won't go down at all. Nobody has a crystal ball. From everything everybody's saying, the interest rates are probably going to go down a few times this year. So once they start actually coming down and once those announcements start coming up, I think the prices will go up in Toronto. Now, here's a really interesting stat, because the total number of new listings was up 33.5% year over year from February 2023 to February of 2024. And for reference, it went from 8,537 new listings last February to 11,396 new listings this February. And what does that mean? It just means that a lot of buyers have a lot more inventory to look through. There are more options out there and places are sitting on the market a little bit longer. So 33.5% is a huge number. A lot of that is in the detached side as well as the condo side, which I'll get into in a second. But that relates to this next number, because the property days on market has gone up 12.1%. So in February of 2023, on average, it took 33 days to sell a property. And then in February 2024, right now, it's taking on average 37 days to sell a property. Once again, people are out and about. They're looking at significantly more inventory. They're making their decisions a little bit wiser, taking their time, and taking a bit longer. And that's reflected in the property days on market. Okay, now let's jump into the stats of every major home type in Toronto in February of 2024. The average price of a detached home in Toronto in February of 2024 was $1,657,000, which is actually down 3.5% year over year. So the detached market's down. Now, if you look at the new listings from February of 2024, on the detached side in the city of Toronto, we saw 1,084 new detached home listings. And if you compare that to the city of Toronto in February of 2023, there were only 867 new listings. That's almost 20% more detached inventory in the city of Toronto. It's clear why the price came down 3.5%. It's literally because a lot of these places are sitting on the market longer and there's more inventory to choose from on the detached side. And 3.5% is pretty significant. That's $35,000 on a million. 1.67 million, that's what is that? You're looking at close to 50, 60,000 bucks, right? That's a pretty big difference in price. And having said all of that, there were 18.8 8% more transactions. There were more sales on the detached side. So there were 18.8% more sales, but the average price came down 3.5%. It just means there's more inventory. There are more new listings to choose from. And again, buyers are taking a bit more time and not overpaying for listings like they were a couple of years ago. Now, let's jump into the semi-detached market because the average price of a semi-detached home in Toronto in February of 2023 was $1,319,000. Okay, and this was actually up 2.8% year over year from February of 2023. Any price between like $900,000 and at this point, like 1.3, 1.4 is much hotter because due to the interest rate hikes over the last couple of years, what's happened is that everybody who was in the mid to high ones is now down into the low to mid ones on their purchase price. So the semi-detached market is getting hotter and hotter. And again, that's reflected. The prices went up 2.8%. Average sale price of a semi-detached home, February of 2024, 1.319 million. And the number of sales of semi-detached properties in Toronto has gone up drastically. So it's gone up 26.6% year over year. Literally 1/4 more semi-detached home sales year over year from Feb 2023 to Feb 2024. And again, that's because most people who could afford those places in the mid to high ones are now down into the mid to low ones. And yeah, that's why the prices are going up. So up 2.8%. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot on this market update. So I apologize for that. The townhouse market. The average sale price of a Toronto townhouse is $970,000, which is down 3.4% year over year. And I think a lot of that has to do with the semi-detached market. The townhouses were creeping up to that, to that 1 million, $1.1 million mark. And now ever since everybody has come down from those upper ones on a purchase price standpoint, the townhouses have gone down in value because now people are like, oh, I can purchase a semi-detached home in and around that 1.2 to $1.4 million mark where now I don't have to sell for a townhouse. Volume of sales went up 18% year over year on the townhouse side. So average price came down 3.4%. It's at $970,000, but the number of sales has gone up 18%. And then the condo sales. The condo market has stayed pretty flat, but there's significantly more new listings and active inventory. So there were 7.2% more sales in Toronto, but the average price only came down 0.4%. So the average price of a Toronto condo right now is $726,000. In February of 2023, the city of Toronto had 1,912 new condo listings, whereas in February of 2024, there are 2,534 new condo listings. So almost a 40% increase in new listings of condos. So if you're looking for a condo right now, might be a great time to start taking it a little bit more seriously because there's a ton of new listings out there and the prices of condos have stayed pretty steady, but I see them coming down a little bit more. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten any value, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, please just hit that link at the bottom of this video and we can set up a call. Thanks again. Have a great day.